Todd Gurley has been to 3 Pro Bowls since his debut in the league, and even won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Since his rookie debut in 2015, there is no question that Gurley is a force to be reckoned with. He has been regarded as the best running back in the game today. But back in the 2015 NFL Draft, Gurley was taken at the 10th overall pick. Today we're going to talk about the 9 players drafted before Todd Gurley and how their careers are going so far. So before we get into the 9 players drafted before Gurley, let's take a look at his road to the NFL. Gurley attended Tarboro High School in Tarboro, North Carolina. During his junior year, he accumulated 1,472 yards rushed and 26 touchdowns. The scouts were not only impressed by his production on the field, but by his athleticism. Coming out of high school, Gurley was considered a 4-star recruit, and coming out of his senior year, he committed to the University of Georgia to play for the Bulldogs. In Gurley's freshman year, he acquired the starting position after only 1 game. In his 2012 season, Gurley started 12 out of the 14 games, had 1,385 yards on 222 carries, and 17 touchdowns. In his second season with the Bulldogs, he only played 10 games in which he rushed for 989 yards and 10 touchdowns. In Gurley's third season with Georgia, he was suspended. Despite only playing 6 games, Gurley still managed to accumulate 911 yards and 9 touchdowns that season. Since his debut in the league in 2015, Gurley has been a phenomenal addition to the Rams and has matched greatly with quarterback Jared Goff these past few years. But who could have been selected before this offensive monster? Let's get into it.
If you plan on going to any events coming up, make sure you use SeatGeek to purchase your tickets. SeatGeek makes ticket buying easy by giving you a 1 to 10 score and even gives you a view of your seat.
You can use our code JDP at checkout to get $20 off your first purchase. Again, make sure to use SeatGeek when buying tickets and use code JDP at checkout for $20 off your first purchase. Let's get right back to the video. The first pick in the 2015 NFL Draft was owned by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They selected quarterback Jameis Winston from Florida State with the first overall pick. As a freshman at Florida State, Winston led the Seminoles to a 13-0 undefeated record, including a 45-7 ACC championship victory over Duke. He threw for an incredible 4,057 yards and 40 touchdowns, as well as won the Heisman Trophy, all in his first season as a starter. In his sophomore season, Winston started in 13 games, and after another 13-0 season, the Seminoles were selected to play in the 2015 Rose Bowl. Unfortunately, Florida State would lose 59-20 against Oregon, giving Winston his only career loss as a starter. Winston finished the season with the conference-leading 3,907 yards and 25 touchdowns. Winston decided to forego his last 2 years of eligibility and declare for the draft. Winston coming into the league was great. As a rookie, he threw for 4,042 yards and 22 touchdowns. His second season was even more impressive, with 4,090 yards and 28 touchdowns. Unfortunately, Winston has seen a steady decline in his stats due to injury and suspension. I believe Winston is a very good quarterback when healthy and on the field. Winston has shown to have some inconsistency issues, as we saw in the 2018 season, that seem very concerning to me. Winston has potential to be a top quarterback for years to come if he can return to full health. Overall, Tampa got a talented quarterback who has plenty of potential to get better as a quarterback. The Tennessee Titans owned the second pick in the 2015 NFL Draft, and with this pick, they selected quarterback Marcus Mariota. As a freshman at Oregon, Mariota helped lead the Ducks to a 12-1 record, as well as being named Pac-12 Freshman Offensive Player of the Year. Mariota finished his freshman season with 2,677 yards and 32 touchdowns. In Mariota's sophomore season, despite earning an 11-2 record, the season as a whole was considered a letdown due to Oregon not making a BCS bowl game for the first time since 2008. Mariota finished this season with 3,665 yards thrown and 31 touchdowns. Mariota decided to bypass the NFL Draft in return for the 2014 season. In Mariota's junior season, he was named the Heisman Trophy winner and led Oregon to a 12-1 regular season record, thus allowing them to move on and play Florida State and Jameis Winston in the 2015 Rose Bowl. Mariota would lead the Ducks to a 59-20 win over the Florida State Seminoles, in which he was named Offensive MVP. With the win against Florida, Oregon moved on to play Ohio State in the national championship game, in which they lost 42-20. A few days later, Mariota entered the 2015 NFL Draft. He finished his junior season with 4,454 yards and 42 touchdowns. Since Mariota's entry into the league, he has yet to play a full 16-game season. While I believe Mariota can be a decent QB for Tennessee, I just haven't seen the same guy we saw at Oregon. Mariota is injury prone, receiving at least 1 injury per season, as well as consistency issues he continues to deal with. Mariota hasn't seemed to quite catch a break yet. While Mariota is still on the Titans, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they didn't hold him long term. With the third pick in the 2015 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars selected defensive end Dante Fowler from the University of Florida. During Fowler's freshman season, Fowler moved to play outside linebacker. Fowler played in all 13 games and started in his very first game. He recorded 30 tackles, including 8 for a loss and 2.5 sacks. In the 2013 season, Fowler started in all 13 games for the Gators and was named a team captain towards the end of that season. He recorded 50 tackles, including 10.5 for a loss and 3.5 sacks. In 2014, Fowler cut weight to become a more explosive edge player for the Gators. He recorded 60 tackles, including 15 for a loss, 8.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles, and was named first team All-SEC. He then entered the 2015 NFL Draft. Unfortunately, Fowler tore his ACL during the first day of minicamp, causing him to miss the entirety of his rookie season. His next season, Fowler played all 16 games for the Jags and recorded 32 tackles and 4 sacks. Fowler now resides in the Los Angeles Rams and plays outside linebacker. Since Fowler's entry in the league, he has seen minimal success and had struggled with attitude problems that caused strain with his last team. But recently, Fowler has put efforts into turning it around, having a good season last year and going to the Super Bowl with the Rams. I'm excited to see if he can continue to perform at the same caliber as last year or even better. The Oakland Raiders selected wide receiver Amari Cooper out of Alabama with the 4th overall pick in the 2015 draft. In Amari's freshman year of college, he played in all 14 games, but didn't start until the last 9. He led his team with 52 receptions, 1,000 yards, and 11 touchdowns. In the 2013 National Championship against Notre Dame, Cooper led Alabama's receivers with 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. In his junior season, Cooper really got to shine. Cooper set numerous single-season and career records for Alabama. At the end of his career at Alabama, Cooper had become the all-time leader in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. Since Cooper's entry into the league, we've seen a few things happen. Entering into the league, Cooper saw success and was looking phenomenal. But it has been shown in these past 2 seasons that Cooper has been slowed down by injury. Cooper now resides on the Cowboys, where I think he can make the comeback he deserves. I wouldn't put Cooper in the top 10, but he is definitely a top receiver when healthy. If Cooper can manage to stay healthy and works well with quarterback Dak Prescott, I have no doubt in my mind Cooper will find himself back on top. The Washington Redskins owned the 5th overall pick in the draft. The Redskins selected Brandon Scherff from Iowa. After redshirting his initial year at Iowa, Scherff saw action at left guard in 11 games of the season, starting only 3 of them. In his sophomore year, he replaced Riley Reiff as the starting left tackle. He started the first 7 games of the season at left tackle before suffering a broken fibula and missed the remainder of the season due to injury. Despite being regarded as one of the best offensive lineman prospects for the NFL draft after his junior year at Iowa, Scherff decided to return for his senior year. After his senior season, Scherff was awarded the Outland Trophy as the country's best interior lineman. Since Scherff's debut in the league, he has been an incredibly reliable lineman for the Redskins. During training camp in his first year in the league, the Redskins saw it fit to move him to the right guard position. Since his entry into the league, Scherff has been voted into 2 Pro Bowls. While injury may seem like a problem, overall I like this pick. Scherff is tough and is an essential piece to the Redskins O-line. I hope to see him healthy for next season. The 6th overall pick belonged to the New York Jets. They selected defensive end Leonard Williams from USC. As a true freshman, Williams started 9 of 13 games at the defensive tackle position, recording 64 tackles, 8 sacks, and an interception. Williams was named the Pac-12 Defensive Freshman of the Year. As a sophomore, Williams was moved from tackle to defensive end after recording 74 tackles and 6 sacks. Williams was named a first-team All-Pac-12 selection and an All-American. As a junior in 2014, he recorded 80 tackles and 7 sacks. He was named team MVP and first-team All-Pac-12. Since Williams' debut in the league, he hasn't been phenomenal. In no means has he been bad, but he has plenty of room for improvement. He hasn't been the defensive presence I'm sure the Jets were hoping for. This player is still young and has time to find his rhythm. The Chicago Bears selected wide receiver Kevin White from West Virginia with the 7th pick in the draft. In his first season at West Virginia in 2013, he started 9 of 11 games and had 35 receptions for 507 yards and 5 touchdowns. White returned for his senior season as a starter. He finished the season with 109 receptions for 1,447 yards and 10 touchdowns. Unfortunately, not much is to be said about this wide receiver. He has been underwhelming in the league and has shown to be incredibly injury prone. White unfortunately experienced serious injuries early in his career that have brought him to today. Honestly, I don't see White as a weapon on offense. He really just doesn't stand out. This past year, he signed a 1-year contract with the Cardinals. Maybe quarterback Kyler Murray can find a way to help this lost cause find his place again. The Atlanta Falcons had the 8th pick. They selected defensive end Vic Beasley from Clemson. As a redshirt freshman freshman in 2011, Beasley only played 16 snaps and recorded 2 tackles that season. As a sophomore, Beasley recorded 18 tackles and 8 sacks. Beasley's junior season is where he gained recognition. In the first 6 games of the season, Beasley led the nation in sacks with 13. Beasley was named first team All-ACC that season. Beasley opted to stay for his senior season and finish his education, and in Beasley's 2016 NFL season, he recorded one of the best years of his career so far, recording a league-leading 15.5 sacks, and he even played in the Super Bowl with the Falcons. Unfortunately, following an injury in 2017, Beasley has seen less and less starts since, and his performance has gone down. The Falcons got a solid defensive player. Beasley, if returned to 2016 condition, has proven that he can be a lethal weapon. I guess we'll have to wait to see how he does next season. The last pick before Gurley was owned by the New York Giants. They selected offensive tackle Ereck Flowers from the University of Miami with the 9th overall pick in the draft. Flowers started 2 out of his 3 seasons while he played at Miami. Flowers entered the league as a starter for the New York Giants. Since his entry in the league, Flowers has seemed like a bust, giving up blocks and allowing penetration to the quarterback more often than not. Flowers just seems unmotivated to be on the field. He has been shuffled between a few teams in the past years, but now finds himself on the Washington Redskins. The Redskins have had a top offensive line these past few seasons. I'm intrigued to see where Flowers finds his place on this team. Overall, I think Flowers was not a great pick to take ahead of Gurley. Todd Gurley was finally drafted with the 10th overall pick by the St. Louis Rams. Since Gurley's entry into the league, he has been practically unstoppable. In just 4 seasons in the league, Gurley has solidified himself as a top running back in the game. Gurley is a diverse and lethal offensive weapon. Not only can he break tackles and take it to the house, Gurley is also a lethal receiver when needed too. There is no doubt in my mind that Gurley will continue to get better in these next few years. The Rams hit a jackpot in drafting Gurley, and unfortunately 9 teams passed up on the opportunity to acquire this monster of a player. Todd Gurley led the league in rushing touchdowns last season, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did it again this next season. Gurley, in my opinion, is the best running back currently in the league today. In today's game, Gurley needs to fight to stay on top, with young studs like Ezekiel Elliott and Saquon Barkley making some major noise around the league. Who do you think is better than Gurley? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I would like to give a quick shout out to our patrons. Weston Brown, who is a member of our bronze tier, and José Alcis Silva, who is a member of our silver tier. We'll be posting exclusive videos to our Patreon and also posting videos early before they get posted to YouTube. Make sure to go ahead, click that link down in the description and check it out.
Thank you guys so much for watching the video. My name is Jackson.
And my name is Darren, and this is J&D Productions. So if you don't already know what type of videos we basically make videos revolving around sports. We eventually want to work to make this our full-time job, and we're working really hard currently to make great content for you guys.
And if there's anything you can do to help us, please share this video. Tell your friends about it, tell your family about it. Make sure you go share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of those above. Just go help us grow. We're just trying to grow this channel. We're trying to make better content, and we really appreciate it if you help get the word out about our channel.
And if you guys want to help us out any more than you already have by sharing and watching this video, please go ahead and click that link down in the description for Patreon. If you guys don't know what a Patreon is, it helps us make better content for you guys. And that is strictly what it's for. We don't want to take your money. We don't want to steal your money. We just want to make better content for you guys. We're 2 broke college students, and we're just trying to make this our full-time gig. So if you have the generosity in your hearts to help us out a little bit more, please click that link down in the description.
But again, if you don't have the money, don't worry about it. We don't have money either. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you go share this video as much as you possibly can. Help us get our name out there. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.